Yo, Man United Atletico Madrid pre-season game. Now, I watched it live, and like I like to do, I watched it again this morning just to make sure my feedback is on point. So I've done the player ratings. Let me get straight into it. Heaton, I gave him a 7. Made one decent save. And apart from that, just had good communication. Because it wasn't a packed out stadium, you can hear the communication. You can hear the players talking. And I could always hear Heaton saying, ow, ow. Like he's barking at the defence all the way through. So just based on his communication and the couple of decent saves that he made, I give him a 7. Euro playing at right back, I gave him an 8. He pocketed Lookman in the first half, got forward. Needs to improve his heading though. I think he could, with his height, he could be a real asset from set pieces. He had a couple chances today with his head, and he just fluffed his lines. So he needs to improve his aerial ability. But yeah, I gave him an 8. Defensively, he had Lookman might still be in his pocket all now. But Maguire, I gave him a 6. Steady defending. Still, for me, takes too many touches on the ball. Now, I need the holding midfielder, which is Santos at the moment, to be literally barking at Maguire to say, give it to me straight away, as quick as possible. The more touches Maguire takes on the ball, the more pressure there is now on your midfield when you give them the ball. You're allowing the opposition to, once the ball turns over and Maguire has it at his feet, he needs to punch it into that midfielder's feet straight away to give the midfielder more time to assess his options and move the ball forward. Instead, you're taking 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch. Like, you are not Martinez. If it's not Martinez doing that, I don't want to see any of the defenders doing that. So moving on, Heaven, I gave him a 6 as well. Couple of lapses in concentration defensively, but he was breaking lines with his passes, which I like to see. And he was joining the attack, which was very intelligent. From a young player like Heaven to have the confidence and the IQ to see when he can join the attack. And he was overloading on that left side, and literally Heaven actually, when we won the penalty through Shea Lacey, I'm pretty sure it was Heaven that played the pass, a 5-yard pass onto the edge of the 18-yard box into Shea Lacey's feet. I'm pretty sure that was Heaven. So this is how high up the pitch Heaven was pushing at times. So yeah, that was good from him. I think Shaw got a 7. First half, he was our most dangerous player, which is strange to say as he hardly overlaps anymore. But he was overlapping and he was box crashing in the first half. Second half, I think he gassed out a little bit. But overall, I gave him a 7. Mason Mount, man of the match, connected the defence to the attack all night. I think he even got better in the second half. He grew in confidence throughout the game, and rightly so, because he had a wonderful game alongside Santos, who I gave a 6.5. Mount, man of the match, I gave him an 8.5, by the way. So Santos, I gave him a 6.5. He screened the back line wonderfully. He does a lovely job at screening. And at times he jumps as well with the press. And I think the fitter he gets, the more he'll feel confident to jump out and press at times. But at the moment, I think he's screening. He's using his IQ to screen the back, the centre backs especially, because I don't think he's confident in his fitness to really do that jump out and press at times. Because there's times he could jump out and press even more, but he kind of just bides his time when to do it and when not to do it, which is cool. But I think as his fitness grows, he'll do it more often. But with the ball at his feet, he's breaking lines, which I like to see, punching it into the attacker's feet. So I gave him a 6.5. Ahmad, I gave him a 6. He was sharp in possession, but I think he could have got out to the cross, which ended up in the back of the net a bit quicker. But in general, he's sharp in possession. He doesn't look like he's even needs a preseason. He looks like he's ready to go already, and this was his first game back. Shea Lacey, I gave him a 7. Grew into the game. I think first half he was quiet at first, and I feel like when he has those moments where he's not, I think Shea Lacey, well, I don't think I know, because I watch academy football. I've watched him play from the under-18s. He's always top 1 or 2 in his team. So he's the player within his team where it's like ingrained in their head. You get the ball and you find Shea Lacey and you give it to him. So, but he has to realize with this team, when you're playing in this first team, that's not going to happen. So you need to kind of earn the players' respect. And also, if you're not getting the ball, especially when you're playing that 10 role, the cam role, you need to then move out of maybe the cam role, go out wide. And he started to do this in the second half. He started to hover out to the right wing, and he started to do that in the second half especially. But in general, he grew into the game, started to get the ball between the lines, started to make things happen, created chances, and in the end, he won a penalty for us as well. Dorgu, he was at left wing. I gave him a 5.5. He was running in behind, but he lacked decision-making skills when he needed it. I think at one point he got played in behind. A couple of times he was offside, but there was one time when he was onside, and it's like he couldn't make up his mind whether he was going to cross, take a touch, shoot. By the time he made up his mind, the defender blocked it. It went out for a corner, but Mbumo was in the box for a first-time cross. So he just needs to sharpen up mentally for me. I gave him a 5.5. Mbumo, moving on to Mbumo. He was playing up front for us. Mbumo was playing up front for us. I gave him a 7. Good movement. Lacked conviction in the first half. I wanted to see him test the keeper a bit more. Should have scored a header as well. But in the second half, he got a couple of goals. One for the penalty spot. I gave him a 7. Jack Fletcher came on right wing in the second half. Started off poor, to be honest. He kind of started off how we finished the last preseason game. But then he started to find space between the lines. As Lacey started to hover out to that right wing where Jack Fletcher was playing, Jack Fletcher was then coming inside in his favoured position as a cam or in central midfield, and he was picking up the ball and making a few things happen, and he ended up getting an assist. Armour, I gave him a 5. He wasn't in the game much. Amas, I gave him a 6.5. Defended well and he overlapped, which I love. We need our fullbacks overlapping. We have to have our fullbacks overlapping. At least one of them need to be overlapping. And Amas came on, he showed good energy. He was constantly overlapping. Good quality on the ball as well. Williams came on at left wing and again, just plays within himself. Not positive enough. He needs to be more positive because he's got ability. When he is a positive, he can swing crosses in left foot, right foot. He can get at his man. But too often he takes the easy option. He's just not direct and positive enough. Too often he just recycles the ball. It's not good enough for me. So I gave him a 5. Xerxes, 5.5. Held the ball up well, but at times took too many touches when he could have played others in. But he showed good strength, good hold-up play. It stuck to him as well. So I gave him a 5.5. JJ Gabriel, he came on. He was up top with Xerxes. I gave him a 5.5. He had good movement, smart movement to find space. Exactly what I was saying about Lacey finding space when he isn't getting on the ball. Well, JJ wasn't getting on the ball at first and immediately he adjusted and started to find space out wide, started to find space in between the lines. But when he got on the ball, he was a little bit too eager to impress. So, yeah, he just needs to, it's understandable, he's like 15, 16 years old, but in future, he just needs to be a little bit more composed and just kind of take things in his stride more. Thwaites, last but not least, Jimmy Thwaites, I gave him a 5.5 as well. I think he showed his inexperience when he was defending at times. I think he kind of made a slide tackle and the ball ended up going into our box like a cross and they almost scored from it. But then he also showed his moments of brilliance with his one-touch passes. He was spraying some lovely one-touch passes, showing his range of passing as well, which I want to see more of, to be honest. So yeah, overall, I think we dominated, to be honest. Although going a goal down, I think we dominated. I was particularly impressed with Yoro and Shaw in the first half. I was particularly impressed with Mason Mount throughout. So yeah, there's some good things. We're seeing some good things. I'd like to know why Obi Chido Obi isn't in the squad though. If anyone knows, let me know in the comments. I'd love to know why he isn't getting a chance, especially with Sesko injured and Xerxes supposedly being on the transfer list. Of course, Mbumo can play there, Cunha can play there, but Cunha isn't even in the squad yet. So I'd like to know why he isn't getting a chance. But yeah, overall, let me know what you think, guys, think in the comments, man. Love.